Good afternoon. Welcome to the channel, My Geezer Guitar Journey. Hope everybody's doing great today. So, I'm getting a really late start today. As some of you who follow my channel know, I usually record early in the morning, sometimes as early as 5 o'clock in the AM. And I usually start editing somewhere in the 8 to 10 o'clock a.m. range. And usually I don't publish till maybe early to mid-afternoon, sometimes even later. But today was an unusual day. First of all, I had my first doctor's appointment at 7:15. I had my second doctor's appointment at 9:15, and then I had my lab work immediately following that. So, and then when I got home, my wife was cleaning the windows, so I had to stay out of her way. And so here I am finally at almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to do probably my one and only song today, but I've been playing a little bit this morning, warming up. Now, what I'm going to do right now or today, on this song. Shoot. That's the only problem with this laptop. I have to use a Linksys adapter for my internet because speed on this is so slow. And unfortunately, I just lost the internet because I accidentally hit the... There it is. Okay, I got it back. Because I accidentally hit the adapter. Nope, I lost it again. Okay, come on. What's going on? Let's see if I can get it back. May have to all right. Anyway, so what I was getting at is that I'm going to be playing the Fei Chang travel guitar. I'm really starting to like this guitar a lot. I had to make some adjustments to get set up right, and it still needs some more maintenance and care. I'm getting closer on the setup, but I found with a travel guitar with a shorter, smaller smaller size to deal with, that setups are not as easy. A regular size guitar, it's almost like I can do it by second nature. This one's different, so but I've got it to where I'm I'm probably at about 2.5 to 2 3/4 millimeter on the low E, and I'm probably about I'm very low on the high E, which means at some point I'm either gonna have to I'll have to get a new saddle and make some adjustments, which I was gonna do anyway. I was gonna buy a bone saddle. I'm not even sure. These might be bone. I looked it up, and according to what I've seen so far on the internet, the top on this is spruce. Now, it did not say solid spruce, which would indicate to me it's possibly laminate, but I cannot tell usually you can tell by the sound hole, where it sits, but I cannot tell. And according to what I also found, the back and sides are supposed to be mahogany. So I mean, and it does feel like that. The materials are nice. The neck, I'm gonna say is probably, I'm gonna say the neck is NATO, but I don't know for sure. Could be mahogany. And the fretboard, I'm guessing is rosewood, a rosewood of sorts. So, but I mean, I like the guitar. You know, it's not as easy to play as a full size because when you have arthritis and fingers that cramp up and everything, it's a little harder to play that smaller, more more precise fret size. But so anyway, but I'm gonna play the Feixang, Feixang, Feixang. I think that's the way you pronounce it. I'm going to say it is anyway. I'm going to do a song that I really, really like. Now, a couple things about this song. The first thing I'm going to tell you is, unfortunately, I don't have a play-along version. So this is a case where I'm going to have to sync up Ultimate Guitar with the original video. And, you know, it's not a problem. It's a little harder to do. Not as easy. So the chords, I'm using Ultimate Guitar. There's only one version on Ultimate Guitar. And it matched, so I'm sure it's correct. And the chords are G, B minor, so you got G, B minor, C, E minor, D, and A minor. So I think that'll cover it. And of course, as I always do, I'll give you a chord chart. I will give you links to the original video. I'll give you links to the Ultimate Guitar. If I find another play along, whether it be an actual video play along or whether it be a chord and lyric play along, maybe chordy or chord or E chord or something like that, I'll give you a couple options. But I think if they're all the same, I'm going to leave it the way it is. So anyway, I do have to try and set this up. That looks pretty quick, so I'm going to leave it the way it is. And let me get it to where it's to the thing. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this as a guitar cover only. Unless I can figure out a way. I know you can. I'm no tech. I have no clue how to do all this stuff. But I know you can do something where you can get a looper and, do it, repeat it. Or if you had if I had a audio set up where I could do, where I could layer channel or layer tracks. But I'm very, very low tech. I mean, for a while, what I was doing before I had my microphone and everything, I was using two smartphones. I was having a smartphone that was doing the video because I was too close to pick up the sound from the guitar and my voice. And then I was using a second smartphone to pick up that vocal and then I would have to try and sync it together. It was a pain. So anyway, this is a little easier for me, but we'll see how it goes. So anyway, like I said, the intro on this, by the way, is you got G, B minor, C, G, and then you repeat it. So we'll just go from there. Let me try and sync this up. And again, don't forget comments, questions, queries, suggestions, and or requests. The song again, Dan and Shay, Bigger Houses. And here we go.
Used to dream about buying that bigger house, sitting on top of some hill, losing sleep about filling my bank account, wondering if I ever will. But the older I get, I just care less and less about keeping up with people named Jones. If you don't fill it up with somebody that you love, it ain't ever gonna feel like home. There's always gonna be a higher high you could chase for the rest of your life. Greener grass in the yard next door, or a shined up Chevy little newer than yours. You're never gonna fill an empty cup if what you got still not enough. The thing about happiness I've found is it don't live in bigger houses. I can hear the kids making little footsteps running down the hallway upstairs. I can see the dogs playing in the backyard through the kitchen window right there. Maybe life's kinda more about a swing on a porch, holding low while the sun disappears. Why would I wanna be anywhere else in the world where my whole world is sitting right here? There's always gonna be a higher high you could chase for the rest of your life. Greener grass in the yard next door, or a shined up Chevy little newer than yours. You're never gonna fill an empty cup if what you got still not enough. The thing about happiness I found is it don't live in bigger houses. No, 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 no. There's always gonna be a higher high you could chase for the rest of your life. Greener grass in the yard next door, or a shined up Chevy little newer than yours. You're never gonna fill an empty cup if what you got still not enough. Thing about happiness I found is it don't live in bigger houses. The thing about happiness I found is it don't live in bigger houses.
So anyway, again, Bigger Houses by Dan and Shay. And pretty easy for all of us beginners. And again, I use the travel guitar. I'm really starting to really enjoy this. I told you before, I'm going to probably invest in a pretty nice travel gig bag. Something along the lines of my Orangewood gig bag, which is heavy duty, it's thick, it's cushioned, so that if you did drop it, it probably wouldn't, might not split, might not break the neck, might not break off the headstock, whatever. But I really do like it, and I love the sound of it for a little guitar. I mean, you got to remember, it's only 3/4 size, so it's kind of neat. And okay, thumb picks out of the way. Anyway, so don't forget, comments, questions, queries, suggestions, and a request, as always. If you wouldn't mind, for me, like and subscribe. Also, shout out to all my subscribers and what I like to call partners. And those are the guys that not only comment on my and subscribe and comment and view my videos, but they also do their own videos, and then we have a relationship where they mention me on their channel, I mention them on mine, and those are very, very nice to have those that kind of camaraderie. I really enjoy it. So anyway, so until next time, don't forget comments, questions, queries, suggestions, and or requests. Like and subscribe. I love you guys. I will see you next song.